We're gonna talk about power and how to walk in it, man. I want to tell you, man, there's a lot of people walking around here right now. A lot of people walking around with their heads down. A lot of people walking around believing that they don't have what it takes to become powerful. When I'm talking about power, I'm not talking about external power. We're talking about internal power. Power that comes from the Most High. A power that allows you, equips you to push through adversity. Power that shows you how, even when you're struggling, even when you're faced with the trials and tribulations of your day and time. You may be going through a death right now in your family. You may have just lost a loved one. You may have just lost a brother that had been shot down by gun violence. You may have lost a sister to cancer. You may have just lost your mother to breast cancer. You may have just lost your father because he walked out. Or you may have lost him years ago. You may have just lost your marriage. You may have just broken down. You don't understand why. But power, internal power in the mind. And we gotta ask for power. We gotta ask for that fighting power so that we fight against these spirits. We fight against these trials and these tribulations that try to beat up on us. Power allows you to take the adversity and use it as a weight. Use it as a weight. Now you bench pressing this adversity. You're bench pressing this trial. You're using it to make you stronger. You're using it to utilize, to allow yourself to become more powerful. Now you're becoming more fit. See, before you was utilizing it as a weight that weighed you down. Your mind was weighed down. Your thoughts were weighed down. Your body was weighed down. Your body was being broken down. But now power is coming into your life. You got to get that type of power. You got to get that eternal power, that mental power. I'm talking about mental power when everything around you seems like just, it's just dull. You got fired from your job today. You're going home and now your wife saying, we don't know what to do. We got bills piling up. This type of mental power says, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be all right, baby. We're going to be all right. We're going to move forward. We're going to strive. We're going to get there. We've been here before. This is nothing. Right now, this is nothing. I don't see it as this as an adversity that I cannot go through. It's not something that I cannot overcome. That's what power does. Power equips you to strengthen yourself. It says strengthen your loins and push. It says push yourself to be better. That's what power does. Power strengthens you when you're faced with adversity. Power gives you courage to move forward. Power, if you're a track star, and you know that when you're running track, you got to have powerful legs. You got to have power in your legs. That means you got to work out your legs. You got to hit the gym, doing your squats, doing your deadlifts. You got to make sure that you're pumping 300, 400 pounds, 3-4 times your leg limit so that you build up muscle. So now when it comes to you jumping, your legs are light. You're just hopping. You got to learn how to jump. You got to jump higher. You got to jump over things and continue to do that every day. That's power. The higher you jump, the more power you are now allowing to be utilized and to be used as an electrical current inside you, pushing you. That's what power does. Power pushes you. It helps you propel yourself to the next level. We ever seen an eagle? An eagle doesn't allow the winds, the force power of the winds to hurt it. It allows the current conditions of the winds to empower him to soar higher. See, we got to be like an eagle. An eagle's not up there looking all crazy in the air, flapping and flipping around and like, oh man, I don't know how to fly. See, when we act like we don't have power and we're not utilizing power, we're like an eagle who doesn't know how to flap his wings and know how to fly. You expect that as when you're a baby, but it's all right when you're a baby. It's all right when you're young and you're learning how to develop your wings and you're learning how to develop power. Yes, there's going to be certain situations, but if you can get over one thing, always remember, you can get over one thing, then you can get over another. You ever push yourself and you lost 10 pounds and it took you 4 months to lose? You're like, woo, but I did it. And then you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, you know what? I'm going to lose another 15 pounds. Next thing you know, you lose another 15 pounds. And this time you did it in 2 months. You go, you know what? I'm going to lose 50 pounds because I'm out 80 pounds overweight. Next thing you know, you lose the 50 pounds in 6 months because of that first 10 pounds. Even though it took you 4 months, you utilize power, mind power, internal power to push yourself. And when you push yourself like that, It therefore allows you to utilize and tap into a whole new dimension of power. And that's what this is about. Power comes as you go into different dimensions. See, we got to step out of the 3D dimension and step into the 4th dimension, and the 5th dimension, and the 6th dimension of power. There's different. That's why the Most High, the Yahusha, the Hamashiach said, there in my Father's house, there are different dimensions. He said there are different rooms. There are different rooms. There are different mansions, many mansions in his house. His house is inside you. His house is when you go and you close your eyes and you are one with the Most High. He said, come into the inner courts. When you step into the inner courts, he gives you power to come in there. He gives you power to overcome sin. Then he gives you more power to walk in purity. Then he gives you more power to walk in righteousness. And as you continue to walk in that power of righteousness, in that power that he gives you, then you can tap into the different dimensions, what allows you to step out of this world, off of this low vibration, and allows you to walk in new dimensions of power. And as you walk in new dimensions of power, now you get to move into the many mansions. You get to move into the state of love. You get to move into a state of pureness. You get to move into a state of oneness. You get to move into a state of peace. These are states of power. And as you continue to walk in this power, then you continue to grow in power. And that's why we're using power. That is why we're utilizing power. We're asking the Most High for power. He said, ask for power. He said, let the weak say that I'm strong. That's power. You got to ask for this power. You got to walk in this power. You got to believe in this power. You got to know that you have this power. You got to know that you are this power, because that power lives in you, and you and I are one. That's why the Messiah said, me and my Father are one. He walked in that power. He didn't separate himself and say, me and my Father. No. I'm walking in this power, baby. I'm walking in this power. I'm chilling in this power. I'm sitting in this power, and ain't nothing that nobody can do about it. It is what it is. And that's how we have to be. We have to be so willing to walk in power. We got to be so determined to walk in it every single day. It doesn't matter who comes against you. It doesn't matter who stands against you. It doesn't matter who's coming in and out of your life. There's going to be plenty of people that's going to come into your life, and they're going to try to drain your power. They're going to try to zap your power. They're going to be energy vampires. But you got to walk in power. You got to always remember, you got to go like an energizer battery. You got to go and recharge. You know that when you have a battery powered object, or you have a receptacle power tool, what do you have to do with it? You have to go and recharge it. Your phone, you can't just use your phone all day and then expect it to recharge 100%. You have to do this, be the same way. You have to charge. What is that energy? What is that electrical current doing to that battery? It's allowing lithium to push into the battery, which is allowing your battery to be charged with electrical current, which is energy, which is the force, which is vibration, which allows it to be recharged with power. And you have to be the same way. You have to recharge yourself with power every single day. You got to say it to yourself. You got to recharge yourself with power. Get up in the morning and empower yourself. Get up in the morning and tell yourself who you are. You don't let anybody else outside yourself define yourself. You define yourself internally to yourself. I am power. I live in power. I walk in power. I stand in power. I fight in power. I empower people. That's where it starts from. And when you do this, you'll see every day the change in you. You'll see that things start to become easy for you. You're like, man, I can go and do 10, 20 things a day if I want to. I can do whatever it is I do whatever it is that I want to do because I empower myself. People are like, man, I only go to work for 8, 9 hours. I'll be tired and exhausted because you're not empowered. You're operating at 10%. That's why they say most people walk and operate in 3 to 4% of their brain capacity because they are not empowered. They haven't taught their brain to empower itself, to step out of its comfort zone. You have to mentally stimulate and empower yourself, brothers and sisters. I mean, literally, you have to empower yourself daily. You have to tell yourself in the spirit world, I'm empowered. You got to empower your spirit. You got to just say, oh, how do I empower my spirit? You got to get with the Most High. You got to meditate. You got to meditate on His word. He said, if you meditate on my word day and night, He said, I will empower you. Anything that your hands go to touch and do, anything you set your hands to do, I don't care what. If you go and do push-ups, you're going to be empowered. It's going to be blessed. You go and work and create something, it's going to be blessed. You go and make something, a cake up, it's going to be tasty. It's going to be delicioso. I'm telling you that. Whatever you do, when you walk in His power, you are empowered. You're doing push-ups. You're going to see your chest develop faster than most. I'm not even a personal trainer, but I'm getting bigger and bulkier and leaner faster than a lot of these personal trainers, because you are operating in power and they are not. They are operating in their own circular external power, which is not power. That is called willpower. But you're operating in eternal power. You're operating with eternal power. That's a power that the Most High can only give. And then when you operate in that kind of power, combined with the power that He's giving you, oh man, you're unstoppable. There's nothing that this world can't do. When you operate in that type of power, then you become, and you start to act like the Most High operated, I told you to act like. Then you control and dominate and rule and take dominion over everything and all the elements of the world. Then you start to defy and start to move and alter the elements of the earth, like the Hamashiach did. That's why he was able to walk on water. That's why he was able to take the earth dirt and heal people with their eyes, spit dirt on their face and heal their eyes. That's why he was just able to walk past people when they were getting healed. That's why he was able to break bread and then multiply it down and give it to people, because he was operating in the Most High's power. He was operating in his Father and his power together. That's why he kept saying, I and the Father are one. People don't understand that. When you become one with something, you become one with the source, just like a phone. When the phone becomes one with the battery source and with the source, it takes the battery and the lithium inside the battery to the phone to be plugged in to an outlet, which is plugged in to a main power breaker, which is plugged in and tapped in to a telephone pole line, which generates from electrical I don't know the word, electrical NIMO station, which electricity is generating from, over thousands, hundreds of thousands of volts. When you tap into that power, where the source of the power is what I'm trying to say, is when you become your most powerful perception, when you become your most powerful self. And that's what people need to understand. Tap into power, walk in power, live in power, love in power, and watch yourself become the very best version of yourself. We're going to talk about power and how to walk in it, man.